This extraordinary child comes all the way from Manila, a city full of noise, color, struggle, and dreams. Born into a humble family, this child's journey did not begin in luxury music schools or elite concert halls. It began in a small home where the sound of traffic mixed with laughter, and where dreams were big even if resources were small. The piano that changed everything was not brand new. Some keys were worn, some slightly off tune, but to this child, it was a magical world of sound waiting to be explored. From the moment the child could sit upright, they were drawn to the piano. While other children were learning their first words or playing with toys, this little prodigy was pressing keys, listening closely, and trying to copy melodies they heard on television or from passing radio songs. The parents noticed something unusual very early. This was not random noise. This was curiosity mixed with instinct. A natural connection between tiny fingers and music. There were no formal lessons at first. No strict schedules. Just pure love for sound. The child would sit for hours, repeating notes, correcting mistakes, and smiling every time a melody finally sounded right. Sometimes they played lullabies they heard at home. Other times they created their own music, melodies that seemed far too complex for someone so young. Neighbors would stop outside the house just to listen. Some even wiped away tears without fully understanding why. As the child grew, word began to spread. Videos recorded on old phones started circulating online. People could not believe what they were seeing. A 4-year-old, barely tall enough to reach the pedals, playing with emotion, control, and timing that many adults spend a lifetime trying to achieve. Invitations to perform locally started coming in. Small community events, school gatherings, and charity programs welcomed the child with open arms. But nothing could prepare them for what was about to happen next. A chance to audition for one of the biggest talent stages in the world. A chance to step in front of millions. A chance to show that talent has no age. The journey to Ireland was long and overwhelming. For the child, it felt like an adventure. For the parents, it was a mix of pride and fear. They worried about pressure, about expectations, about how their child would handle such a massive stage. But the child was calm. Excited. Ready. To them, it was just another piano, another chance to share music. Backstage, the atmosphere was intense. Contestants paced back and forth. Some practiced lines, others stretched, some whispered prayers. And there, in the middle of it all, sat a 4-year-old calmly swinging their legs, smiling, completely unaware of the weight of the moment. When asked if they were nervous, the child simply said they were happy to play the piano. As their name was called, the audience erupted in applause mixed with curious laughter. The judges leaned forward, smiling warmly. One judge asked a simple question. "How old are you?" When the child answered 4, the entire room gasped. Some judges laughed in disbelief. Others covered their mouths in shock. 4 years old. On this stage. The child climbed onto the piano bench with help, adjusted their posture just like a professional, took a deep breath, and placed their fingers on the keys. In that exact moment, the room went silent. You could hear a pin drop. No one was ready for what came next. The first notes were soft, gentle, almost shy. A simple melody that felt like a whisper. Then, slowly, the music grew. The child's fingers moved with confidence, precision, and emotion far beyond their years. The melody transformed, weaving sadness, hope, joy, and longing into a single breathtaking performance. The audience stopped breathing. Judges stared in disbelief. Some leaned back, shaking their heads, smiling through tears. Every note felt. As the performance reached its peak, the music swelled with power and emotion. The child pressed the keys with passion, their tiny body swaying gently with the rhythm. Tears began to fall in the audience. One judge wiped their eyes. Another placed a hand over their heart. You could see it clearly. This was not just impressive. This was deeply moving. When the final note faded into silence, there was a brief moment where no one moved. No one clapped. No one spoke. Then suddenly, the entire room exploded. A standing ovation. Cheers. Applause so loud it felt like the walls were shaking. The child looked up, confused, then smiled brightly, waving shyly at the crowd. The judges stood on their feet, clapping, some with tears streaming down their faces. One judge struggled to speak, their voice shaking as they tried to find the right words. They talked about how rare it is to witness true natural talent, especially at such a young age. Another judge said they had never felt so emotionally touched by someone so small. A third judge admitted they forgot the child's age completely and were simply lost in the music. One judge leaned forward and said something unforgettable. They said this performance was a reminder of why this show exists. To find moments that make people believe in magic again. To remind the world that talent can come from anywhere, at any age, and change lives in an instant. The child listened quietly, swinging their legs, smiling innocently, not fully understanding the impact they had just made. When asked why they loved playing the piano, the child answered simply. Because it makes people happy. That answer alone brought another wave of emotion through the room. Then came the votes. One by one, each judge said yes. Not just a yes, but an emotional yes filled with admiration and disbelief. The audience cheered louder with each response. It was unanimous. This 4-year-old prodigy was going through to the next round. As the child left the stage, they hugged their parents backstage. Tears flowed freely. Tears of pride. Tears of relief. Tears of overwhelming joy. This was more than just a competition. This was a life-changing moment. After the episode aired, the world reacted instantly. The video went viral across social media platforms. Millions of views poured in within hours. Comments flooded from every corner of the globe. People shared how the performance made them cry, how it reminded them of their own childhood dreams, how it restored their faith in pure talent and innocence. Music teachers praised the child's technique and emotional intelligence. Professional pianists expressed shock at the control and expression displayed at such a young age. Parents shared the video with their children as inspiration. Many said they had never seen anything like it before. Back in Manila, the child became a symbol of hope. News stations covered the story. Schools invited the child to perform. Communities celebrated not just the talent, but the message. That dreams born in small homes can reach the biggest stages in the world. Despite the fame, the family remained grounded. They emphasized that the child was still a child. Still playing, still learning, still growing. The piano was not a burden. It was joy. They promised to protect that joy above everything else. As the competition continued, every appearance by the child drew massive attention. But no matter what happened next, that first audition remained unforgettable. A moment frozen in time when a 4-year-old walked onto a giant stage and reminded the world of the pure power of music. This story is not just about talent. It is about belief. About parents who supported a dream. About a child who followed their heart. About music's ability to connect souls beyond age, language, and borders. And as you reflect on this incredible journey, remember this. Greatness does not wait for permission. It does not wait for age. It does not wait for the perfect moment. Sometimes, it shows up in the smallest form, sits at a piano, and changes everything with a single note. If this story touched your heart, make sure you like this video, share it with someone who needs inspiration today, and comment below with your thoughts. Do you believe talent is something you are born with, or something you discover along the way? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more unbelievable stories that remind us why dreams are worth chasing.